is up, my children, my babies, my lovelies? It's your mother J, and today I'm about to get into some hot topics with this newest episode, y'all. I just want to let y'all know right now, I'm trying to come in hot. I'm trying to give y'all some good episodes, especially because I've been staying up with these trends, child, okay? I've been scrolling on my TikTok, trying to talk about what everybody's talking about. I'm trying to be on it. Y'all gotta give me a pat on the back. Y'all gotta give y'all Mother J a pat on the back, okay? Now today, y'all, I got a juicy topic for y'all. We about to get into some teens. Y'all know every single episode. I know I say that we about to get into. I know that I say we about to get into tongue twister. Okay. I know that I say every episode we about to get into some teens. I cannot talk, but for real, in this episode, we're really about to get into it because I feel like this topic is something that applies in everybody's life. Like literally everybody has had to do this, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's in your job, whether it's with your family, whether it's with anything. Everybody has had to stand on business one point of their life. Okay. And that's why I feel like I'm going to have to make this video, child, a part 2 and a part 3. Because in this part, I'm about to talk about standing on business when it comes to relationships. Okay. Y'all know we be getting down and dirty. Y'all know we be talking about relationships. So of course, before we get into some things, y'all know we got to first up, toast up. That's one thing we always got to do. Today, I'm going to be drinking on some water. I don't got nothing to sip on, child. So today we're going to be drinking on some water. But y'all know we always got to first up, toast up before we get into anything, especially because I'm going to get cotton mouth talking so much about this topic. Because, child, the amount of times that I've had to stand on business, there's almost no more business to be had. First up, toast up. Thank you. All right. So, y'all, listen. Let's get into some things. So first of all, for some of the people that don't be on TikTok, you don't know what this phrase standing on business come from. You don't, what are people talking about? Why are you scrolling your TikTok and you just see standing on business? Why do you keep seeing that? Here is where it all comes from. It comes from the legendary Drewski, the comedian from Instagram. I absolutely love him, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. He's probably the only Instagram comedian that actually has me rolling, like the only one. So anyways, Drewski got on TikTok or Instagram, whichever one, and he had a video that he made. And basically in the video, he's like calling out rappers that be, flexing off their stuff, that be doing this, that, and a third, and that's not really them. And so he basically calls them out and he's like, y'all not standing on business. Like y'all not portraying somebody that you're really not. You know what I mean? You're putting on this facade. Okay. And you're not standing on who you are, what you really believe in. And I feel like a lot of times when it comes on standing on business, the basis of it all, of course, yes, he was doing it as a skit, but standing on business has a deeper meaning into it because, like I said, it can apply to almost anything. Okay. So what the phrase really means is when you're on your business, when you're standing on it, okay, you show up for yourself and you do what you say you will actually do. Let me say that one more time because that's deep. When you're on your business, okay, you show up for yourself and you do what you say you're actually going to do. How many people in this world actually do what they say they're going to do? Let's be real. Because I like to say all the time, like, oh, I always say what I mean and I mean what I say. I say what I mean and I mean what I say. Girl, no, you don't. Okay, maybe and sometimes it applies more to others. You know what I mean? It may apply to a coworker. It may apply to a stranger. But does it apply to that man? Let's get into it. I got to call it out. And I'm calling myself out. Does it apply to the person that you love? Does it apply to your family? Okay, are you standing on business with them? Are you letting them know your boundaries? Are you keeping it real with them? Are you doing what you say that you're going to do? Are you standing in what you believe in? Are you standing on business? Okay. Now, I just want to say, if we're talking about relationship wise, if we're talking about, setting boundaries, I just would like to give myself a small tap. I'm not even going to give myself a pat. I'm going to give myself a small tap on the back. Okay. Because y'all know, in regards to the latest episode that I had with did somebody say the word celibacy? Y'all know that I am on my little celibacy journey or whatever. And in order to do that, you got to stand on business. So let's just give your mother a round of applause. A round of applause. Let me say that. Yeah. Why did I just say that? Anyway. But no, for real. So of course you got to stand on some type of business. All right. So I have been standing on a little bitty business, a little bitty bitty. You know what I'm saying? So I got to give myself a little bit of hand clap for that. But I do know if I'm speaking on the past me, it was very hard for me to set my boundaries for myself. And I feel like the only way to truly stand on business is to understand the number one key thing is understanding your self-worth, understanding your beliefs, and standing on your beliefs. Okay. Now, one thing about it, child, putting your boundaries down for anything that you love or anything that is repetitive to you is always going to be hard because that's something that you're used to doing. That's something that you love to do, or that's something that you indulge in. So it's like, how is this bad for me? You know what I mean? But you have to honestly know yourself to know, are you losing yourself within that? Are you going against your words? Are you going against your values? You know what I mean? And I hate to get all serious about it, but that's the truth when it comes to standing on business. What are you doing that's going against yourself, that's making you weak in the knees to the point where you can't even stand? Let's talk about it. You know what I mean? And so I feel like a lot of times in the past me, and sometimes child it still trickles in because I be ready to send that text message, okay? One thing about it, I did have a dark night. But I will say, I will say, you do come down to those times where you want to go against your beliefs and you just like, whatever, forget it. Let me just do that. But those feelings are always temporary. And those feelings always make you weak in the knees to the point where you almost feel like you're not able to stand up. And so, like I said, it's always going to be hard to stand on your beliefs and what you believe in, but you also got to think about the things that you're going against. You're going against your self worth, you're going against your values. And so, I feel like a lot of times when I was seeing people standing on business when it came to TikTok or whatever, they always talked about somebody that's calling them up, that's hitting them up at random hours, that's trying to hit them up from the past, trying to double back, whatever, whatever. And y'all know I've talked about my past life, child, where I used to be a double backer, where I used to go back and just be like, oh, let me go talk back to this guy, or let me go talk back to this friend that I used to be with because this is somebody I'm comfortable with. This is somebody that, I have history with. And I've had to honestly realize, y'all, that I was making a whole bunch of excuses. And a lot of times when you do see yourself going back to a person that you know this person, and you know that they have not changed one bit. Why do you feel yourself wanting to go back to that if you know you're going to go through that same cycle? Why do you see yourself thinking, why do you continue to think that, oh, maybe this might be something right for me to do? Even though I've been trying to tell them my boundaries, even though along the way I've been trying to tell them, this is how these certain things make me feel. If they constantly showed you time and time again disrespect, if they've went against your values, if they've went against the things that you believed in after you told them time and time again how you feel, how is that how is that making you better? How is that fitting into your self-worth? You know what I mean? And you honestly got to ask yourself those questions when you're trying to stand on business. And honestly, I think it's so funny to see on like TikTok when people are like, patting themselves on the back. They're like, yeah, I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business because I am happy that the culture is coming about where it's cool to put your foot down. Because I think a lot of times people be trying to make it seem like, oh, you know what I'm saying? She doing too much because she's standing on what she believes in. No, this is what I believe. This is how I feel, and this is what's going to make me feel better about myself. And what I'm not going to do too is, I think a lot of people have to realize what standing on business is. When you say standing on it, you actually have to stand 10 toes down. Okay, that means not just doing something temporary. Because then you're only doing the same action that person is doing to you. I feel like another thing when it comes to standing on business is not feeling bad for stating what you believe. Like, I feel like why do people feel bad nowadays to set their boundaries? You know what I mean? Or why is it so hard to set your boundaries? Because I really had to sit and ask myself, like, why was it always so hard for me in the past to practice my boundaries and set them? And a lot of times it comes from the lack of education around the boundaries in your childhood, or not even in your childhood, but just in your relationships in general. So if your boundaries were always not respected from the beginning, it's always going to be hard for you to set the boundaries in the end because your boundaries were never respected and that person from the beginning never respected you. But what you have to do along the way of trying to set your boundaries is looking back at that, looking back at the ways you were disrespected. You know what I mean? Actually taking a look back at the past. Because I think a lot of times when we about to go double back, and I know this because I am an avid double backer, like I said, child, or I was, okay? I was. Not too much. Not too much, okay? I would always think of the good things and I would completely and totally forget about the bad things. Like sometimes when I be going through my single hardships and I be going through my dry spouts, child. I be thinking about, oh, these were the good things that this person used to do for me, or this is how this person fulfilled me. And these are, I would reminisce all the good things that they did in my life, all the good conversations we had, all the good memories that we had. And that would make me always want to trickle back. I never really took the time to think about all the bad things. And why would I want to do that, right? Because who wants to think about the bad things when you're reminiscing a person or when a person has lost your life? Who wants to constantly think about the bad things? But that's something that you have to do if you want to stand in what you believe in and if you want that person to truly respect you. Because I think honestly, even when it comes out of a relationship standpoint, nobody's going to be able to believe what you say. Nobody's going to ever be able to take you serious if you're not going to stand on what you believe in, if you're not going to stand on business, period. No one's ever going to want to hear what you have to say. You know what I mean? And that goes outside of a relationship. You know what I mean? No one's going to want to believe what you say and no one's ever going to take you serious ever. I'm going to just keep it 100% real. And I think that was the number one thing too as to why I feel like I had to stop doubling back because that person is never going to take you serious ever, especially because that person always know you're there when they need you and when they want to call you. And the crazy thing about it is, y'all, sometimes you got to really sit there and think, why is that person wanting to spin the block on me in the first place? Why is this person wanting to hit my line at this type of hour when I told this person not to? Why is that person want to do this, that, and the third when I told this person not to? Because they always know that you're going to come back. I'm telling you right now, y'all, and I had to learn this myself, and I've talked to people who has had to learn this same hard way. Majority of the times when a person is wanting to spin the block, it's because they want to check and see the hold that they have on you. It's because they want to check and see the hold that they have on you. They want to see if you're still going to be there when they need you, when they're done doing whatever they want to do. They want to see if you're still available. And they want to test if you're standing on business. That's what it is. They want to test and see if you're standing on business. And that's why it's so important, y'all, to put yourself first before anything, okay? To know your self-worth before anything. Because even if you're not standing on business behind closed doors, the least you can do is let that person know what's up front and cry later. Okay? At least you can say you crying by yourself for a little short period of time, but you're not crying forever. It's not something that you got to keep repeating your self-worth over and over again. Who wants to keep trying to prove themselves to somebody? I'm not going to keep trying to prove myself to you and trying to tell you how to respect me and try to tell you how to care for me. That's not what's going to happen. I'm going to instill that within myself so that I know that I'm going to stand on my self-worth regardless of anything. And once you're able to do that in relationship, you're going to be able to do that all around you in every environment that you're in your job, with your family, with anything. You're going to be able to do that everywhere because you know how you're supposed to be treated. I've been trying to tell people all the time, you got to practice what you do in your relationship because that's what you do in your everyday life. How you handle yourself with something that you love is how you handle yourself within anything. So setting your boundaries with your family or with your relationship is also going to set your boundaries within your career. Like I've been having to learn how to stand on business even when it comes to my podcast, practicing what I preach when it comes to my podcast, meaning as in I'm promising to people that I want to make content. I'm telling myself that I want to make content and I want to be an influencer and I want to be this, that, and the third. But if I'm not actually putting in the hard work, if I'm not actually planning, if I'm not actually making a content creator, who's going to want to listen to me? Nobody's going to want to take me serious and nobody's going to want to tune in. Do y'all see where I'm trying to get at this? You want to be able to stamp yourself in life. You want to be able to let people know that you're trustworthy and that you're somebody that someone can depend on. You want to be able for someone to want to spin the block on and know, hey, I know how to come about her from now on, or I know how to come about him from now on because I know this is not somebody that can play with. Okay? They get down. They don't play. Okay? And that's how it has to be with throughout your day-to-day life. You got to stand on business when it comes to yourself, no matter what. Even if you're weak in the knees in the end, it's okay. Because guess what? You can stand right back up. But if you go down that same cycle over and over and over and over and over again, you will constantly continue to keep getting beaten down from the knees first, okay? You will constantly keep getting beaten down and seeing yourself on the ground time and time again. It's hard to get back up once you're stomped into the ground, okay? I'd rather be weak in the knees a little bit than be completely laid down on the ground. Okay, so I challenge y'all right now, your mother to child challenge. I challenge y'all right now to stand on business, to do what you say, to practice what you preach. And I'm gonna be checking on y'all like a mother do. All right. Okay. This was such a good podcast. Okay. I hope y'all are out there standing on business. Don't let that man call you at no wee hours of the night. Don't let him try to pull up if you told him you don't want to pull up no more at the wee hours of the night. Don't let her try to spin the block after she done already did you dead dirty. Okay? She done already did you dead dirty. She done already did this with this person that you done told her, you know what I mean? She done already went against your boundaries yourself. No. And I get it too. And don't fault yourself if it takes multiple times. Okay? Don't fault yourself. But just make sure while you're in the process of trying to stand on business that you're learning in the process. Because you're not truly learning if you're allowing it to happen over and over and over again. Okay? I love y'all so much. I'll see y'all next time. Make sure y'all stand on them business. I'll see y'all next time. Mwah! I'll see y'all on the next episode. Bye.